The real reason George Harrison walked out on the Beatles, and you probably never knew why. The breakup of the Beatles is one of the most hotly debated stories in music history. Sure, we've all heard the official narratives. Lennon blamed Paul, Paul had his reasons, and fans have been picking sides for over 5 decades. But beneath the public drama, a deeper tension was brewing, a power imbalance that ultimately pushed George Harrison to the edge. "I think I'll be leaving the band now." That's not a dramatic reenactment, that's George Harrison's actual words, caught on camera during the sessions for what would become the Let It Be album. The moment is quietly explosive, captured in Peter Jackson's The Beatles, Get Back documentary. And it marked a turning point in Beatles history that most fans still overlook. For years, Lennon and McCartney dominated the band's songwriting credits under their iconic partnership. It didn't matter who wrote what. Every track was stamped Lennon-McCartney. That worked well, until it didn't. By the mid-60s, George Harrison was coming into his own creatively, but his songs were treated like second-tier material. At best, he'd get 2 or 3 tracks per album. Most of the time, it was less. And here's the kicker, he was contributing to their songs too, without getting any credit. In a 1987 interview, Harrison revealed, "He was annoyed I didn't mention he wrote a line in Taxman, but I also didn't say I wrote 2 lines in Come Together or 3 in Eleanor Rigby." Let that sink in. 2 of the Beatles' most legendary tracks, and George was quietly shaping them behind the scenes. The unspoken creative politics in the band finally exploded during the Let It Be sessions in 1969. Tensions were so high, they decided to film the process for a planned TV special, turning what should have been a documentary about unity into an accidental breakup tape. In Get Back, you can actually watch the moment George has had enough. He gets up mid-session and says he's leaving the band, just like that. No yelling. No drama. Just done. The room falls silent. Although he rejoined the group a few days later, the damage was done. George had already begun dreaming about his own solo album. And the sad irony? Many of the songs he brought to the Let It Be rehearsals, songs the band dismissed, would later become hits on his solo album All Things Must Pass, including the #1 single, My Sweet Lord. As Harrison later reflected, "John didn't realize who I was." It's easy to romanticize the Beatles as a perfect unit, but George's story reminds us, even in the most legendary bands, creative voices can be silenced. Thankfully, the quiet Beatle found his voice, and the world listened.